is Donna, and we're here. We made it to Washington, D.C., and we'd like to take you on this journey, so just come and join us as we head to the other museums.
We are on the final leg of our cross-country travels. We have traveled to over 7 states over the past several days, visiting national parks, state parks, family, and friends. We conclude our cross-country travels in this video to Washington, D.C., our United States capital. Traveling and being in nature has been a very integral part of my wellness journey, so please join me as we travel to Washington, D.C. One of the first sites we visited is Rock Creek Park. It is a large urban park in Washington, D.C. with over 1,700 acres. The park's attractions are hiking trails, working mills, colonial homes, Civil War fortification, horseback riding, concerts, golfing, boating, various other outdoor sporting activities.
Hi, here we are at the Howard University here in Washington, D.C., one of the greatest HBCUs in the country. We're touring the college, and it's been a wonderful visit.
Howard University was established in 1867 as a private research university, and it makes up 13 colleges and schools: the College of Medicine, Law, Dentistry, Pharmacy, Engineering, Nursing, Architecture, Religion, Law, Music, Social Work, Education, and so on. Howard University was ranked in the top 100 for best national universities and ranked number 2 in top HBCUs according to U.S. News and World Report. There are over 11,000 undergraduate and graduate students. Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, class of 1986.
National Guard.
It took us 2 days to visit the various sites at the Washington National Mall. On this particular day, it was very crowded, but a beautiful day.
Hi, here I am at the Lincoln Memorial here in Washington, D.C. As you can see behind me here is the reflection pool and the memorial there, monument, the Washington Monument.
The Lincoln Memorial was built in 1922 in honor of the 16th U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. It is located on the west end of the National Mall. Inside the memorial is a large statue of Abraham Lincoln. The memorial is the site of many famous speeches, including the Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech on August 28, 1963, during a rally, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. I had the honor of attending the 20th anniversary March on Washington.
Here I am at the reflection pool.
The Potomac River is the 4th largest river on the Atlantic coast, and it runs 383 miles from West Virginia to Maryland. George Washington, the first president of the United States, chose to establish the federal city along the Potomac River because it already had the two major port towns of Georgetown and Alexandria. Arlington Memorial Bridge opened in 1932. It is 2,163 feet long. I had the honor to jog across this bridge during my visit. Symbolically, the bridge shows the strength of a united nation after the Civil War. The bridge connects the nation's capital to Arlington Cemetery, where thousands died fighting to preserve democratic government.
Here we made it to Washington, D.C., and we're visiting the Smithsonian Institute, the National Museum of American History. And we'd like to take you on this journey, so just come and join us as we head to the other museums. If you turn, you can see the monument over here.
Right next to the National Museum of American History is the National Museum of Natural History, and directly across the street is the mall, which is a green space that people gather and enjoy hanging out together. And on the other side of the American History Museum is the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
In this area.
The National Museum of African American History and Culture documents African American life, history, and culture. The museum opened September 24th, 2016, with over 36,000 artifacts, and the newest museum of the Smithsonian Institution. You can actually see the Washington Monument from anywhere in the National Mall.
So here we are at the Washington Monument here in Washington, D.C. And as you can see, it's overcast, about to rain. And there was, when we checked, there was no rain in the forecast, but apparently it might rain. So we're going to go over to the monument and check it out. So come on. Touching the monument. And it sits in the middle. You can see the memorial here, the Capitol here, the Capitol's here. It's really windy, so pardon the wind. Pardon the wind. It's pretty windy today. So let's go.
The Washington Monument was built in 1854 to commemorate George Washington, the first President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army in the American Revolutionary War. Visitors can actually go inside the monument and take the elevator up to the observation deck.
From the monument,
The monument is made of marble, granite, and bluestone and is the world's tallest stone structure, standing at 555 feet. It's located in the very center of the National Mall and Memorial Parks.
So here we are. This is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Thomas Jefferson Memorial, right there.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial was built in 2011 in honor of Civil Rights Movement leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The memorial is located in the West Potomac Park next to the National Mall on over 4 acres of land. Within the park is a granite statue, the Stone of Hope, carving of Martin Luther King Jr. The inspiration for the sculpture is a line from King's "I Have a Dream" speech. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope, which is also carved into the sculpture. The MLK statue overlooks the tidal basin.
Out of the mountain of despair is written here.
You have to go over there.
The Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial was built in 1997 and is located along the west shore of the tidal basin. Visitors can walk through the time chronicles of FDR's life. The 4 open-air rooms represents his 4 terms in office as the 32nd President of the United States. He was the only president to serve 4 terms. Within the memorial, you can find FDR's famous quotes carved in the granite stone. There are also incredible bronze artwork and beautiful waterfall sculptures. In room 2, there is a sculpture of the bread line, which represents the Great Depression. In room 3 are waterfalls crashing over boulders representing the destruction and violence of World War I in Roosevelt's third term in office. In room 4 is a monumental bas-relief that represents the nation in mourning after Roosevelt's death in 1945 in his summer home in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Japanese pagoda is a granite stone statue next to the FDR Memorial. It was a gift by the mayor of Yokohama, Japan in 1957.
Headed to the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, right behind me here. Out of the mud, out of the mud. As you can see, I just made it to the Jefferson Memorial, and they are doing some constructions on it, and you can kind of see the waterway here behind me and the monument. I'm going to head up and check it out.
The Jefferson Memorial was built in 1943 in memory of founding fathers of the United States and Thomas Jefferson, the United States' third president, who was the principal author of the U.S. Declaration of Independence and founder of the Democratic Republican Party.
Enjoy some paddle boating here. Here I am in front of the Holocaust Museum here in Washington, D.C. Okay, here we are in front of the African American Museum, Smithsonian in beautiful Washington, D.C. So come along as we tour these beautiful museums and monuments. Here we are, Washington, D.C. Mall. State Capitol, straight ahead. So almost finished with this tour of our state capital, Washington, D.C., our United States capital. I am just walking the mall. You can see the monument behind me here. And I'm headed down to the state capitol. I'll get as close as I can and go from there. Enjoy the rest of this visit. More food trucks. Great food, by the way, and ice cream.
The U.S. Capitol sits on Capitol Hill, and this is where Congress meets to conduct business.
Here we are at the United States Capitol in the beautiful reflection pool, ending the tour at Washington, D.C. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know about your experience in travel, what you've seen and visited at the state capitol. Thanks again. Bye.